Rustlers Athletics was shaping up to be a memorable campaign here in 2019-2020. Now that we've seen the first half of the season, the 2020 second half of the campaign is looking like it could be even more exciting for various reasons, both because teams are dominant and because teams will come right down to the wire to make the playoffs. Joining me to talk about all that is Ty Plandowski. Ty, a former coach, a student, and now very acutely involved in game day management and other aspects of the athletics program. The most exciting storyline so far for you is what from this season?
Yeah, I think the women's volleyball team is really exciting. They've got 3 rookies starting, and to lose Annika Kuz, Shelby Becker, Ray Sigurdsson, those are 3 huge names in the ACAC. And for Janae Varga, Maddie Blaine, who's a local girl, and Jana Lang to just pick up where they left off is very inspirational, and they're a very strong team now.
Absolutely. Of course, remember, there's a couple of interesting parts about those names. Janae Varga coming from a stock where her brothers had played at Augustana, and Jana Lang, of course, the younger sister of Michelle Lang, who made her name in Lakeland as the all-time blocks leader, though Jana not likely to break that record, could maybe set a few records of her own. I think that just speaks to the institutional sort of structure they've had within their program, that they lost 3 key players like that. But these other girls, having the ability to redshirt, have kind of built their way into the routine of the team, the habits they have. And yeah, they look like the same team. They do a lot of the same things really well.
Yeah, it goes to show with their leadership, right? Austin Dyer creates a very strong leadership role for them. So Brooklyn Bame, Avery Maginell, Bailey, Wheeler, they really just have filled in those spots that were left and created a very strong leadership for years to come.
And of course, they got the sweep to start things off last weekend against Concordia. Which do you think is going to be their toughest matchup here in the next couple of weeks?
Toughest matchup for them is probably going to be Kings, but I wouldn't say that's their most important matchup. I think them heading into Augustana, trying to get wins there because, you're wanting to come out in the higher end because Briarcrest in the South is a very, very strong team. So, they've played into Kings' favor a couple times. They played Briarcrest over Christmas break, so it'll be very interesting to see what comes out this down the stretch.
And of course, those 2 teams separated by 1 win. On the men's side of the volleyball spectrum, obviously, it's exciting as well. They haven't officially clinched the playoffs yet, but in all likelihood, they are going to be one of the 4 seeds going to Lethbridge in February.
Yeah, so they were in this position last year. They were very close into a playoff spot. They just swept Concordia, which is huge. It gives them the series sweep against them, so that's a team that's trailing them. So for them to get that advantage really helps out a lot. They also will be playing Augustana, who's a very strong team. They are very good on paper, struggled for a semester, so they need to get at least 1 game out of that to really feel good. But I don't think the guys are going to sit still with a 4th place finish, especially how strong that Lethbridge team is down south.
Absolutely, and now they have a chance actually to finish higher than 4th because they're sitting in a tie with King's University College at 9 wins. Keano, because of having had a bye to start the weekend, is also at 9 wins, so that's an important matchup right there. You can flip-flop 2nd and 3rd. And then Nate, who sat in 1st at 11-1 coming into the break, they lost 2 straight matches to Kings. So there's 4 teams that, in theory, could all vie for that number 1 seed.
Yeah, absolutely. The North is usually known for being very strong. The 1 through 4 can beat anyone. Really, 1 through 7 in the entire league can. So for Lakeland to come out, have a strong showing against Keano this weekend will be huge for them. Try and get a win or 2 at home will be very, very big for them. It's tough playing in Nate's home gym, so you kind of go there wanting for a split, but of course you'll take a sweep. And then Kings, you got to do what you did last semester. You got to take them out twice.
And of course, that's going to be a tough matchup with Kings picking up some momentum. How important do you think it is that the 2 Aussie left sides continue their output? Because Matt Peck has stepped up his offensive game. Ryan Van Oosterwyk, since coming in as a starter in place of Alexei Walliser, has filled in nicely, really done a good job on the ball control side as well. But they are still at a disadvantage physically against some of these top teams. So staying healthy and then also being consistent is important for them.
Yeah, consistency is a huge word for those 2 guys. They really are undersized left sides. So they really struggle against the bigger right sides. They'll face a 6'8" right side this weekend with the likes of Keano. So, Matt Peck knows the game better than most people, so he's very smart. Ryan Van Oosterwyk makes his shots. There's big plays will come out of them. You've seen them this weekend running a bit more of a fancy offense. So that's mainly authorized by Lane Blight, who's been really good for them in the early stretch of the year. And, Giancarlo, he puts the ball where it needs to be put, and Lane will set them, and they'll put balls away most of the time. Matt has one of the best efficiencies in the league.
Yeah, a real accomplishment for a guy that was recruited as a libero and is now one of the leading kill getters for all ACAC left sides.